Never in the history of the world have the merchants of obscenity had available to them the modern facilities for disseminating this filth. Disseminating this filth. The onslaught of the communist masters of deceit.
Pinko, Commie, Slutz. Pinko, Commie, Slutz. Pinko, Commie, Slutz. Pinko, Commie, Slutz.
Hello, Steve.
Hello.
All right. Marlo's here. Steve's here. Bunny's here. That's me. We're the Pinko Commie Sluts. How's everyone doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like nothing's really happened. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Nothing's really happened. Okay.
Nothing's really happened. Just a giant snowstorm hit
Yeah.
Texas.
Oh, yeah, that. Yeah, no, that's happened.
How insensitive, Marlo. This is our time to shine and be like, guess what? We're not like those fucking libs. We want to heat your fucking uninsulated homes.
Yeah,
you goddamn Southerners. No, it is really terrible. I don't know, man. It's interesting to me because I feel like the last, 2 years so far have just been like these massively humbling preternatural things, right? The pandemic, these storms, like wildfires, etc. But yet people remain unhumbled. Sort of infamously this week, there was the one mayor of the Texas town.
Yeah.
I believe the town's Colorado City, Texas. Confusing. And he was like, fucking pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you goddamn lazy bitches. And which is like, I'm like, are we ready? Oh my God, I'm exhausted by this. Are we ready as people on the, somewhat quote unquote other side? Are we ready to just say like all bootstraps? I know the three of us are ready to say this, but.
Yeah, I don't use shoes with laces. It's always been too much work for me.
Fuck anybody who says anything about, you know what? I'm going to go further. Fuck anybody who says anything about laziness, period. I want to help the lazy people. Even.
Yep.
That's how I feel. We need people brave enough to help the lazy, because what is this
Paul
weird...
Lafargue.
Yeah.
Right to be lazy, 1883.
But I know where the propaganda is coming from, but where do you think in the human current condition the vulnerability for this comes from?
Constructed ideology.
Yeah.
I'm going with that.
I think it makes people feel in control when faced with the choice of, some shit's outside of my control, blah, 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 or actually, I'm going to be the one who perseveres and makes it through. Like, they're going to choose the second one.
Yeah, no, I mean, just really...
But you know what? A lot of those people who chose the second one, they're dead. Okay, they died. I just want to make that clear. If we had people brave enough, leaders out here brave enough, taking care of the lazy, maybe those people
Instead,
wouldn't be dead.
Instead, there are leaders brave enough to go to Cancun.
That's right.
Yeah.
Ted Cruz.
Well, I think this week, you say nothing happened, but there's been a spat of bad dad politicians.
Yeah, we love our bad dads.
Yeah, okay, so that was fairly Liz Meyer when Cruz blamed his fucking daughter.
Yeah, that was
that shit fucking was awesome.
We're in the Iannucci mindset.
Yeah, that was his haircut, it was all super Iannucci.
The haircut, the slummy boomer dad.
Andrea Mitchell screaming at her assistant for telling her that quote was actually Faulkner because that all only happened like a week ago. Actually, also hats off to Andrea Mitchell because I would not have had the confidence to just like go with that tweet without Googling it.
There was just like 6 hours where it was just pictures of Ted Cruz wandering aimlessly through Cancun airport.
They were just angrily following him with cameras through airports.
There's
And
Ted Cruz at the
pretending he doesn't know that that's happening is the best part.
Right, because if he acknowledges it happens, then they have power over him and stuff, like, which is fair. You know, it also gets to the central lesson of this episode, which is you have no agency, nothing is in your control, so, you know, just roll with it.
You have no agency, nothing is in control, episode 50.
Sometimes, due to no fault of your own, reporters are following you lockstep throughout various airports in the United States and Mexico, and sometimes you freeze to death. These things happen.
Yeah. If there's a figurehead for the absolutist of individualist republicanism, it's Ted Cruz.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, the man that came.
But
well, yes, but like who's currently
or Rand Paul, but
Rand Paul is
he lacks his father's anything really. Yeah,
but Ted Cruz is like the poster child for the libertarian.
Ted Cruz
turn.
is, I mean, he's just a fucking law school nerd, and the thing with Ted Cruz is he has so little charisma that I feel like he's just being unlikable on purpose because it doesn't make any difference. So I respect that.
I would say he has more charisma than Beto O'Rourke, which
I don't.
I saw them. I saw them.
Beto O'Rourke is tall.
Yeah,
I saw them
out with the Mars Volta.
They were on the same stage together, and every time Beto O'Rourke opened his mouth, I just wanted to go to sleep. And every time Ted Cruz opened his mouth, I like held both sides of my seat and was like, oh no, the rapture is coming and any day now. I should just vote for this person or else suffer eternally.
I don't know. It's a bunch of fucking law school nerd tropes when they're doing like moot court and whatnot.
Yeah, but he was taking on more of a like a preacher kind of thing than a law school lecturer. He does have this lecturing thing about him when he goes on for 16 hours to oppose like school lunches or whatever.
After 21 hours and 19 minutes standing on his feet, Ted Cruz finally sat down. Much of his talkathon was against Obamacare.
Because it's a red herring being used to move the country to single-payer system.
But the memorable moments were those that veered off topic.
I wanted to take an opportunity that I don't usually have when I'm in D.C., to read them a couple of bedtime stories. I do so like green eggs and hams.
This was all about firing up the grassroots. He encouraged supporters to tweet him.
All right, so let me read some tweets.
For 24 hours in like 2012, which pissed off everyone.
I think it was black people being allowed to walk into white neighborhoods without their internal passport. But yeah.
But here's the real question. Say Beto O'Rourke was more charismatic in a way that beat Ted Cruz. Would he have handled this crisis better? I don't think he would have gone to Cancun possibly, but I think equally a failure.
No, I mean, I think in reality failure, but I think he'd really just ape Cory Booker back from the mayor of Newark days when he'd like go out to the neighborhood with a snow shovel and post the
that would be the smart thing to do.
That's what I feel like Beto would do. It's the easiest goddamn thing in the world to do. And
well, that's what he did. I think he volunteered at a shelter or at a food line or something like that.
Cory Booker's genius, because this was back in 2012 when there was a big fucking blizzard that hit like the New York, North Jersey area, like 2012, 2013. And maybe people look this up and he was already a senator then, and I'm talking out my ass with the year. But yeah, it was back when he was mayor. And yeah, like the whole politician on Facebook thing wasn't as much a thing. And he was knocking it out of the park. Everyone was doing memes of Cory Booker being Superman and shit. Like that shit actually worked for a while.
Was this when he was pudgy, Corey, too?
I don't know.
Was this pre-skinny Corey? Because I know that he lost a lot of weight after a while.
I don't follow Cory Booker's BMI that much, so I don't know.
I just know he turned vegan.
Skinny.
He just turned vegan and lost a lot of weight. It was a big thing in his campaigning.
He should have a convert to Islam thing. I feel like he could own that.
Yeah, he could own that. He's still dating Rosario
Oh, they're
Dawson.
still together?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, you know who's not together? Segue.
Kanye.
And Kanye is no more.
And I feel for Cory Booker and Rosario Dawson's relationship right now, because dealing with a world where that cannot work, you begin to question whether your own thing can't work.
I say, actually, given the expectations and et cetera, almost 7 years is a successful marriage.
I just found out about the hologram queef.
I don't know what that is.
You just okay, so
I don't know
just
what
found
that
out
is.
about this, and I lost it earlier.
You're gonna love it.
I feel like
you're
I won't
love
this,
Marlo.
but you know.
Oh my God, you're gonna
I'm
love
open-minded.
it. So for Kim's birthday, she absconded to an island in, I don't know, her birthday's in September.
Little
I
St.
believe.
James.
Her family, etc., a bunch went there, and they're on the ultimate night, her birthday dinner. Kanye's gift to her was a hologram he had made of her dead father.
Mm-hmm.
And there's
the guy from Friends.
Yeah. No, I know that part.
Yeah. And there's a part of it where the hologram makes reference to a poofty. Peefy.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, that's got to be a fart. What I love is no confirming or denying of any kind, no clarification of any kind from the Kardashians. But also there's a part where the hologram's like, you married the most smartest man ever, Kanye West.
Okay, sometimes I drop hints that I'm around. Like when you hear someone make a big peefy, or when you make a big peefy, the hologram says dropping the final word with a wry smile.
Wow.
And according to Urban Dictionary, a peefy is a pussy fart.
That doesn't check out to me. It's some like Armenian, but like
yeah, it's probably some Armenian
ass shit.
Yeah.
That like is probably something bodily function wise or whatever, but I doubt it's a pussy fart or a regular fart. I don't think it's either of those.
I mean, for all I know, it's like a dish that they eat. I don't know.
Or it's some like untranslatable Armenian like notion of fucking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's like Gemutliks, but
okay, but as Ariel, who showed me this story, pointed out, this meant that Kanye had to tell the hologram of the dead father to say peefy.
Yeah, so this is something that a intra-family story, whatever, that Kanye's been privy to. But it's also possible, I think, that he is not getting everything entirely correct.
Which makes it even better.
Yes.
I mean, it's so awesome.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like to.
I would imagine that he consulted the other family members.
Of which Kim Kardashian is known to have.
But yeah, the divorce is said to be amicable.
Yeah, fair. They're both free spirits.
Well, you know, we're just a few years away from her run for presidency. I don't know. I think it'll be The Rock first.
Cold day in hell before I vote for a goddamn Armenian.
Fair.
Bunch of criminals.
That is. I mean, they are. A lot of them.
Armenian power. Large crime syndicate in LA.
Yeah, or so I've been led to believe.
Yeah, I don't know. According to that, like, one subplot of Weeds. Yeah.
That's pretty much my reference point.
Absolutely.
For it as well.
Anyway.
The thing that I wanted to talk about was our governor, Cuomo.
Suck it, libs. You are all dumb and misled, and you're stupid fucking people.
That's right. Cuomo, he's out here lying about the nursing home stats.
He killed my grandfather. I want that guinea dead.
I've been calling it possibly inaccurately, or I don't know, Cuomolodor.
What?
Like the whole Molodor.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, sure. All right.
Come on, I have a reason for this.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I'll give you.
It's the Cuomolodor. It's a possible natural thing that happened that killed off a lot of people based on
Mismanagement
decisions made by an administration from an ideological standpoint. Decisions.
So what you're saying is Cuomo did all he could. Cuomo did all he could during an unavoidable incident.
Well, that's the funny thing about it.
Fucking Western imperialists are telling lies about him.
That's exactly the dialogue going on right now. You know, the defenders are saying that he did all he could. I literally saw like 50 people defending him on Twitter. He's the greatest. He's the greatest. And this is all just smear campaign by the Republicans to try to get him impeached. And the other side of the coin is that he went into each and every nursing home and murdered old people. Murdered your grandmother. Which is why I call it Cuomolodor. And it is one of those things where it is a policy. A bunch of people died in a genocidal way, one could argue, if you're inclined to. Or you could equally defend it and say it was a natural disaster and he did everything he could. That's my very niche joke. Does it work, Marlo? Funny?
Yeah, no, it's a thing.
I support
You support it? I mean, it's controversial. Well, I'm saying
it sure is.
So this all kicked off last week. I've been following this very closely because I hate Andrew Cuomo. I hated it when everybody was saying Cuomo-sexual. I hated it when he was weighing the lives of people against reopening the economy. And throughout this entire thread, people have been like, what about the nursing homes? What about the nursing homes?
And he's like, don't worry about it. Hey.
Yo.
Look over here. I mean, the pizza pie. I'm on the show with my brother. Chris Cuomo. He's married to Chris Cuomo.
I will give you the stats next week.
I will give you the stats next week. Don't even ask me about those nursing home stats. He's just like a Batman.
I'm killing grandmas over here.
I'm killing grandmas over here. Someone asked me about it. Only the bad grandmas are going. Trust me on this.
What? So some old people die, you're going to blame that on me? I can tell you this is a smear campaign against people like you, journalists like you. You don't write down facts.
Yeah, he's basically always kind of just been like this.
He's always been a bully, and that's the thing that came out. I think it was his press secretary or someone high in the administration came out and did an interview and said that she, suppressed the numbers of deaths in nursing homes and that it was actually 50% less. The original number was something like 7,000 and it was actually 15,000. Yeah, it's a significant amount of old people that died. The reason for the deaths is that a policy by the Cuomo administration said that people that lived in nursing homes but tested positive for COVID in the hospital but didn't need the ventilators got sent back to the nursing homes.
Oh.
To die.
And, well, not only to die, but to spread the disease to everyone else. And just thousands of people got infected in the nursing homes due to this policy. So it just spread like wildfire through the nursing homes. And me personally, as a person who delivers every day people's medicines to old people's homes and nursing homes and assisted living care facilities, there was a period for like 3 months where you would just see little memorials around pictures of smiling old people who had died. A different one every day, and like oftentimes 3 or 4 of them in every facility that I would go to.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah,
And
man.
now, I was like, huh, that's funny. Why are all these dead people literally because of this? So there was a scourge, a specter.
His name is
A
Cuomo.
specter was haunting nursing homes.
The scourge of Italians.
That's right. Italians.
Corrupting Protestant daughters.
But he's just always been a schmuck. Oh, and then the other thing is that an assemblyman came out
Right, yeah, that was fun.
and said that there's videos of him, like his father died in one of these nursing homes, and he tried to bring light to it. And Cuomo called him up like last week after the story broke and screamed at him for 10 minutes that he was going to attack his family if he didn't come out and make a statement contradicting the press secretary. And I'm just imagining, like,
What's the matter, you?
I'm just imagining this guy holding a phone like 10 feet away from him or like arm's length away, just hearing this Italian bully just scream at him. It's fucking awesome.
You take that back, or I'm gonna make it a real difficult for your family. He gets a real spaghetti face. The more
Yeah.
aggressive he gets.
No, but seriously, it might bring down his administration. And after,
That'd be funny.
it would be hilarious.
But before we get a Luigi Cuomo, I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
maybe Upstate will like take this one and put some Republican ghoul in office. Who knows? I don't know.
But like people have been saying that Cuomo was the good guy and De Blasio was the bad guy this whole time.
Yeah,
I'm
it
like, no.
never.
No.
And you know what? I think you could go through past episodes, and I've been consistent on this point. That was always bullshit.
It's always this fabricated, strongman patriarch. Like Cuomo is the quintessential American patriarch.
Yeah,
Who,
I mean, except he's not American. He's an invading, swarthy alien.
Yeah.
Come off his
He's
fucking
a guinea
spaghetti
wop.
boat to steal our pure Protestant daughters away.
well, our 90-year-old Protestant daughters.
He couldn't get him when he was young. He's getting him now.
Our boomer Protestant wine moms.
You know what, Andrew? Switch places with your brother. Do they have a mean mom I don't know about? Is there a mean Cuomo matriarch that is like, what's the matter, you?
No, I think
Well,
we've discussed the Chris Cuomo has the kooky wife.
Yes. Who's also named Chris Cuomo.
Is Andrew Cuomo, as I think Stav said, he gives off major divorced dad vibes.
Yeah, he's like one of the most divorced people I've ever seen.
He's got the nipple rings and everything.
Mario Cuomo's wife was Matilda Cuomo, nay Mattia Raffa. Oh, she got a first name change too to be less pasta boat. Oh, she's still she's absolutely still alive.
Gross.
He talks about that
Like
in
90. Oh yeah.
that
During his fucking fireside chats where he was like,
I want to see my mother.
yeah,
I haven't
actually
seen my
what
mother
we're
in a-
remembering is a John Mulaney joke about that is what we're actually remembering, because John Mulaney did this as a bit, an SNL monologue where he did Cuomo yelling at his brother for bringing their grandkids over.
Cuomo used to be married to a Kennedy.
What? Who?
He was married to Carrie Kennedy, the 7th child of Robert F. Kennedy.
So the merger of the great Italian and Irish families for full control of the Northeast coast. Yeah, that's very dynasty.
Yeah.
That is like this union of Boston and New York.
This is as if Martin Scorsese himself came here and was like, let me unite these Irish and Italian immigrants.
Games of Thronesy then. Like Martin Scorsese's gangsters are
I'm speaking to
like a sane
immigrant groups.
I guess.
Groups that, like, if you wanted to know about America and you were watching movies, you would learn about Italian and Irish immigrant
one came
groups.
over on.
You'd learn a lot about the ideas about them from Scorsese.
One came over on spaghetti boats. The other came over on potato boats.
One of them showed up at one point in the mid-19th century to do some weird costume West Side Story thing, and then they didn't show up again until the 2000s in Boston. Scorsese has 2 movies about Irish people.
Yeah.
Technically,
well, you know what?
De Niro was Irish in Goodfellas. So there is that.
Yeah.
And also De Niro was Jewish in Casino.
Yeah. I mean, De Niro
That's
does
true.
Jewish a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's the intersection. It's Italian immigrants primarily, and then the halo orbit of Irish and Jewish, which is a thing. It's a sort of, I think if you're not from one of those groups, you would see American media lump them together in a somewhat broad way. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Sorry, Bonnie. No one wants to see a movie about a landlord who doesn't fix appliances in his apartments.
No. My brother Taki, he come over. Don't worry. Taki's a good Greek name. I like that. I can't even use. I used to use Stavro in a joke until Stav became
sounds like you're just
famous.
talking about that guy.
And I was, is the funny part. No, the joke was that when I was younger, if any Greek guy showed interest in me, my dad would be like, hey.
Oh, you could have been married to Stav.
And the way I wrote the joke, it was like, even if it was Stavro the Gimp. Stav is obviously not a gimp. Well, I don't know what he does in the privacy of his bedroom. But because in my mind at this time, in my very first stand-up set, Stav is somebody who is younger than me by just a little bit, who was like a funny kid I knew from Greektown. It just seemed like a good name. Yeah, Taki is also a good Greek name. Stavro, Taki, Lampro. Lampro is a good one. Leftheri. Leftheri is a good one because it kind of sounds like left titty.
I just like when they have islands that have a patron saint for the entire island, so every male on the island has the exact same first name.
Yorgo.
Yeah, it shit ends.
Yeah, it really does.
I grew up next to Greeks. I don't think I've ever mentioned this, but I grew up next to off-the-boat Greeks who owned the...
Diner?
No, they owned the hot grill. And I learned how to curse. I first started cursing in Greek.
Do you remember anything?
Yeah.
I miss you, Malaka. Those are the only things I remember.
Bonnie, what's that shit, man?
I mean, Malaka is basically jerk off, but it's also like you'd say it affectionately as well. Like, hey, Malaka.
Yeah, and it was used that way, but then I was told I wasn't allowed to say it.
Right.
And I miss you?
Ramasu.
Yeah, it was fuck. It was whatever. Fuck you. And I think it was a shortened version. It was just I miss you, Malaka.
Yeah.
They would always say "fuck you, jerk off," or I thought it was for faggot.
Ramo. Well, it's no. Boosty is faggot.
I thought Malaka was, so that clears up some confusion.
Well, I mean, Malaka you could use the same way, I guess. But if you really wanted to actually say a gay slur, you would say boosty. Okay. I want to emphasize that in the 90s, it was definitely said very casually.
It was during the 90s.
It wasn't like the worst thing you could say. It was
during the 90s, and it was over street hockey. Always over street hockey. Street hockey, fucking beautiful part of my childhood.
Yeah, fuck. Even I played street hockey as a child, like with neighborhood kids, not formally, thank God. Because
yeah, that was what it was. It was the only other kids on the block were the Greek kids next to us.
Yeah.
And they were older, and I had to, I don't know, knee them in the face, and then they cursed at me.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
Absolutely nothing. We're not getting checks. Nothing's happening. Yeah, nothing's going on
Tandem's
except
eating
just
shit.
being-
That's cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Comrade Joe Manchin
Yes, he's voting against
near Tandon.
Yep. So that's funny
Which-
because Bernie lacks the courage to vote against her. So now we get this shitbag doing it for us. So that's cool.
Yeah, it fucking blows.
I saw one tweet that's like doing fucking West Wing brain, saying that maybe Joe Manchin's only doing this because he has assurances that Mitt Romney will take his place.
What?
No, it's awesome. So that's happening.
That's happening. Very cool. I don't know. I'm just like jokerfied every single day.
Well, now you
these
have
days.
Cruella DeVille to be Lady Joker that you could be.
Oh my God. Right. Because you know what? Let's skin puppies, but like make it feminist. I mean, definitely once it comes on the Disney Plus,
Wait.
I'll probably watch it and
Didn't
etc.
they already do a fucking... Oh, no, there was a live action 101.
Yeah, there's a live action
Where I think
Dalmatians and Glenn
Right. And I think the
Close
dog owner
plays
was a
Cruella.
video game developer in the 90s. I think was the plot of it. I remember this from that. Holy shit.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah.
Believe so.
American video game designer Roger Daly lives with his pet Dalmatian Pongo in London. Well, there you go.
There
That
you
is
go.
the only thing I remember from that.
And then he meets a lady who's also got a Dalmatian, and they're both irresponsible and have not spayed and neutered
Yep.
their dogs. So, but I guess it works out. Actually, it doesn't work out because their dogs have a fucking 101 puppies. It's too many puppies to take care of. Maybe that's the story of Cruella. She's just trying to mitigate
Not
this
doing that
overpopulation
Primus song
of...
with.
Too many puppies.
Yeah.
Many puppies.
You can't have too many puppies.
Well, you can
a
if
lie.
they're a metaphor for young men being sent to die in wars.
Well, yeah, I guess. Hear me out. What if they're all white, cis, straight men?
From Texas.
From the former Confederacy.
Yeah.
What are you
Jeez
jokerfied
Louise.
over this week? This is our jokerfied check-in
well,
time. Our weekly jokerfied bunny jokerfied.
Yeah, just keep talking about it because if I fester, I'm definitely going to blow something up. Emotionally, LOL. But basically, they're not going to give us this money. And they keep stalling. They're taking a week off. And then other tragedies are happening. So, of course, reliably, everything that has been unprecedented and is going wrong will be used as a further reason for delay. Is how I'm predicting it. I'd love to be wrong. This is how I live every day. Is please, I'd love to be like, oh, I'm a stupid fucking bitch. They done did the thing good. Like, I would love that. I would love to feel so fucking stupid because the Democrats have come through in the clutch, etc. A lot of the criticism that I'm coming across, which I think I established a couple of weeks ago, there are people who I have not spoken to in literal years who have come out of the woodwork to criticize me joking about giving Joe Biden a hard time already, quote unquote. And now we're several weeks in and he's not proven me wrong, and I hate it. I don't want to be right about these things. It's not like all these bitches who are making excuses for the Democrats are going to pay me money for being correct. But yeah, look, I don't even have student loan debt, but he's pretty much like everything that he was like, I'm doing this. He's like, yeah, maybe I'm not going to do this. When I think he could. $15 minimum wage, the student loan debt, etc. I think Joe Biden has every intention of delaying this aid and then like gaslighting us into believing that we don't need any more. And I think that sucks. And like, that's the thing that's making me jokerfied is I feel crazy because there are people who, as far as I know, are not connected in the inner echelons of the secret government, big state, whatever, who are super defending everything the Democrats, the administration is doing. And it's like, these people aren't even like materially benefiting in any way.
Well,
they're just sadly happy that Trump isn't there anymore and either completely checked out now or want to, you know, be like, yay, something about someone's outfits, things like this. And it's making me the Joker.
It's like the Cuomo thing, though. I mean, like, Joe Biden's a horse trader. Cuomo's a horse trader. Like, he runs it like Marlo brings up every time we talk about this, which is they run it like managers in like a company of some sort. Mm-hmm. And that they have to weigh how happy a certain segment of the population is versus the needs of a much larger portion of the population. And they end up always privileging the interests of the small segment versus the larger segment, which is why it's, dictatorship of the bourgeoisie.
Yep.
Would be the dogmatic, but it's literal. You can look at it simply like they bailed out the corporations and they bailed out the landlords, but gave no rent relief.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other thing that's frustrating is that it's very clear when people are not excited about voting, period, and about voting for the Democrats next election, it's not going to be a big fucking mystery why. And they're going to pretend like, what? And what I dislike is that the liberals I know are pretending like I'm coming at it from this ultra left angle when I'm like, I'm literally talking about the most basic shit. People are suffering. That suffering's not alleviated. Bam. That's a thing that will have consequences.
Well, are they?
Everyone's not going to die as much as they want it
are they
to kill
gonna
it.
run on we're not the party of QAnon? Because that's what I thought their strategy was.
I hope not, because I feel like 80% of the people who were QAnon are like, I never heard of QAnon, never before in my life. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, this is what liberals can't accept, is that there is no corporeal reality that anyone is actually attached to. The reason why it doesn't work to point out that Republicans are hypocrites is because they don't give a shit. They are not adhering to a thing. There's no agreement. There's no rule that you're getting them in that, oh my God, you've shown they've broken it and now there's some comeuppance. That isn't a thing. This is a delusion that exists only in the minds of Democrats and liberals. And the fact of the matter is most people are not fucking disidentified with the political parties. So it really does matter what material help and assistance and suffering people are going through.
Yeah, and the Republicans at the end of the day have shown themselves to be the only party that is willing to at least say they embrace some sort of, albeit sham, revolutionary program.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask Marlo about, because we discussed this. Like, what are the class interests at work here? Because it does seem like the Republicans are offering at least piecemeal to, and I'm putting in quote, the working class. But you had thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, I would say they're not. The only thing they're offering is an acknowledgement that everything fucking sucks.
Well, also, they're not the working class. Or no, I mean, I would say a good portion of the supposed Trump base are largely from the petite bourgeois that are attempting to hang on to what they feel is owed to them, that feels threatened, and that is they are feeling an economic precarity. It isn't simply just they don't like Black people on TV or whatever the fuck.
These things aren't mutually exclusive, but they are neither like, it's not a way to judge people morally, whether or not, like, people being poor doesn't make them good automatically in
I mean,
all the
whatever.
boxes
Like,
that people want to check.
It's also
Right, but
the
that's
fact
how
that,
often
like,
people talk
I don't
about it.
know.
They talk
I went
about
to
it
law
like-
school and I'm doing horse shit right now. Steve has a master's and is not doing things related to it. You know, and it's just like people who have never had.
Well, and the irony is that I did something related to my master's, and I'm making more as a delivery driver than I ever did doing that.
Yeah.
Which points to one thing that I will say about the Trump voter is that I think you're right, it's the petit bourgeois, but it's been the proletarianization of the petit bourgeois, which is losing the status or losing the economics.
Say, that and you have what was formerly, for lack of a better term, I'm not even going to say that term. I don't say such things. But you have the traditional intelligentsia and less productive, even though in some analysis they might be sort of workers, but who generally were in a position of at least relative privilege, who have not had, even putting aside how weak unionization is in the U.S., there's no history of unionization for these people. There's no history of fighting for working conditions among people with master's degrees, really. I mean, you can point to certain movements during the 60s of grad students and shit like that. But it's not a strongly built-in history, and you even have fucking idiots like Amy Therese suggesting that they're not working class or their interests lie with the bourgeoisie because of fucking insane reasons. But they're suddenly in a position where they kind of have to do that, and they don't have that history of even knowing what that is.
Right. And that's something that I wanted to point out, is that it comes with all the class interests of the petit bourgeois, but suddenly they've lost that, and now they find themselves proletarianized by extraction of wealth by financial capital. You know, and that's the class conflict, is financial global capitalism versus
I was
kind of localized.
Yeah, my only quick technical thing is, for me, petit bourgeois tend to use to mean small business owners, but that's not universal. That is just the thing with me when I'm using it. And I mean, I would say small business owners have certain class interests that are more aligned with bourgeois generally versus, people with advanced educations who are still working for a wage or salary, because there's effectively no difference at this point, but a lot of Trump's base are small business owners who, frankly, are pretty well off. A lot of them are proletariat who are alienated from any sort of class conscious by decades of assault by the U.S. government on class consciousness. However, the material conditions are such that they are very alienated from the continued stability of the current order, and they are looking for a revolutionary message. And Trump is selling a bullshit but revolutionary message insofar as he is saying, yes, everything sucks. I know why it sucks, and I'm going to change the things that suck about it.
The Democrats are saying the exact opposite.
The Democrats are consistently saying everything's fine and shut up.
Yeah, they're saying everything's fine, shut up, and aren't these people like so bad? Like, aren't you like looking at how bad they are and like how crazy these? That's why they're going to be fixated on QAnon way past the point of it being like a viable thing to argue against.
Oh yeah.
Because their whole thing is being like
people in 2015 who made fun of
they're
Nickelback.
the party
It's like, what are you trying to prove, dude?
Yeah.
Well, I think you're right, Bunny.
When they could just fucking get people their fucking money. They could be the party that got people money. Like, it's not.
But that would go in conflict with their class interest.
Mm-hmm. Oh, also, Biden officially backed off the deportation moratorium. So, again, I'm right about everything, and you're.
That's right. He's keeping kids in cages. That made me jokerfied too. The pivot on the language that like so many people 6 months ago were saying rah rah blah 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 are like it's not kids in cages, it's temporarily relocation shelters for whatever it fucking is. And you know what, not gonna close Guantanamo Bay, guys. Right. It's just anything giving you any
Hope?
I'm always a
Hope for
fucking
what?
bag
I
of
don't know.
positivity, and
or just like a happy
I'm always pretty
feeling.
I feel like this is the third episode of Bunny Jokerfied. I
good.
think
And
we should
Marlo
check in.
continuing to
Yeah.
be vibing.
I
don't know. You should try
I-
listening to Jimmy Buffett. Just fine.
did you say Jimmy
Yo,
Buffett?
yo, you be giving me Buffett.
That just sounds gross, but no,
Jimmy
Jimmy.
Buffett. I never heard
Hamburgers,
Jimmy Buffett.
paradise.
I was like
Yeah, whatever. I've never
cheeseburgers
fucking
in
listened to it.
paradise. But he's always blaming
Yeah.
women, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
And that would be the sum of the two songs I know
he's-
that Jimmy Buffett.
well, he's in the, I hate my wife category of the 70s music.
Yeah, which unlike
Boom, 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 boom.
Unlike, however, the Southern rocker vibe, which
Can't
is
you see? Oh, can't you see?
Yeah,
What that woman.
Which is, I love
been
my
doing
wife.
to
I was
me.
gonna say more. Yeah, the two things that ruined my life are bourbon and women, and it's so weird that I keep drinking a shitload of bourbon and having unsuccessful marriages. Someone should look into that.
I feel like there's also a spate of artists that have more of the first problem and then wonder why they don't have the second problem.
Oh, and also Ramblin' Man rules as a song. It's
That was
just
Jimmy
like,
Buffett?
no, that's Allman Brothers, dude.
Allman
No,
Brothers,
we pivoted to Southern rock, so it's appropriate. Yeah, because it's really berating the woman for not realizing that, of course, he is unreliable and going to leave her.
Well, I think Whip and Post is probably the most I Hate My Wife song I've ever heard in my life. And
Yeah, I feel like that was about society. I don't know. I never got that was to do with a woman who tied him to the whipping post. I feel like society tied
Society
him to the whipping post.
did it.
have you read the lyrics? It's
Absolutely not.
It's not society. It's
But I like
bitch
assuming the
wife
best of
that is.
artists I like. Yeah, maybe his wife is society.
Maybe he doesn't live in a
Rambling
society,
Man
but
is
he comes in a
basically
society.
a Bob Dylan song without the poetry to hide the fact that the guy's just a piece of shit.
Nice. There's a lot of songs that are pretty, but about just some guy who's a piece of shit.
Which is the theme of today's
interesting.
episode. Just guys being pieces of shit. Ted Cruz,
Got
Andrew
that haircut.
Cuomolodor,
Andrew Cuomo.
Kanye West.
Andrew Cuomo. Chris Cuomo. Kanye West. Mario Cuomo. But we need a Luigi Cuomo. Before the cycle is complete, we need a Luigi Cuomo. I don't know, guys. I'm excited. Pisces season has started. That means we got some birthdays coming up.
that reminds me. You're gonna love this. You're gonna love this,
I don't
Bunny.
know what to ask my family friends for my birthday. I'm at a birthday block. I have everything I ever wanted.
Aw. Ariel's birthday
Aw.
is tomorrow. Yep. Happy birthday, Ariel.
Oh, shit.
And we're going to Philly.
Cool.
Yep.
Have fun.
Woo.
We're gonna eat.
You gotta eat some cheesesteaks.
Is that how they say it? Did we just make up this accent? It's
No.
not a Philadelphia accent at all.
I did. It was like
It
a
was-
Southern British accent.
I don't know what that was.
But okay, but
No, Philadelphia accent is more like, we're gonna go down there and we're gonna get
Yeah,
some
they just generally say
Cheesesteaks.
cheesesteaks. That word isn't changed that much.
cheesesteaks.
yeah, we're gonna go to Geno's.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna go to Geno's.
We're gonna go to Geno's. There's
None of
24
them
hours.
go to Geno's or Pat's because those places are ass.
Well, if you're going to go to one of them, go to Pat's.
Gina's.
But there's a litany of other places that everyone is like.
I mean, I know my cousin likes Gina's.
So
I think we're going just for the experience of going.
I like Pat's because there's a whole thing about
I've heard that he like
Gina's. They can be rude to you if you're a person of color. It's like a special thing they do.
Whereas at Pat's, there are people of color.
So
it's like that stupid hot dog place in Chicago. I have no desire. Yeah. Okay.
Kind of. Yeah.
It's like the soup Nazi, but for cheesesteaks.
Yeah, it's all about saying cheese with wit.
Yeah. No. What else was there?
But. So Marlo's birthday is coming up in 2 weeks,
which is the same day as Bunny's birthday. We go through this.
Marlo and
same days.
Yeah, we have the same birthday.
And then my birthday is 1 month later than that, and falls on Easter. Protestant.
Fake Easter.
Fake Easter. And
fake Easter. Yeah, we got a really cool month apart Easter this year, which is my favorite. So all the Catholics started or in the Protestants, they started their Lent. So they got their smudgies, they're fasting, they're giving up their things. But I got till March 15th to eat all the meat and cheese I want.
But I'm also 33, so I'm Jesus's age.
Jesus year.
And it falls on the correct Easter. What I'm calling the correct Easter.
Yeah, but like also that wasn't Jesus's birthday, dude.
I know, but I'm being reborn.
Well,
I'm being reborn.
Yeah, fair enough.
At 33 years old.
It'll be so funny that you're gonna be like, oh my God, this is so great, and then nothing's gonna happen, and then a month later on Greek Easter, you're gonna have this amazing experience.
I'm gonna die, and then
dimension.
They're gonna be like, "Where'd he go? Where'd he go?" 3 days later, I was just chilling in Cancun with Ted Cruz.
And you'll both have cornrows.
I remember after every spring break, people would just come home with just an inordinate amount of skin cancer and cornrows. We called them the orange people. They were mostly the upper middle class Italians that lived in New Jersey who would go down and get cornrows.
Yeah, and getting tan is really important. In fact,
GTL.
That's right. Gym tanning laundry, which I did appreciate as a thing to think about because I never thought about combining my fitness, my beauty prep, and my laundry as a one entity until I saw that show.
No, I fucks with it. Everything but the tanning. I would throw in the laundry.
Never sat in a tanning booth. You've never put in those little goggles. They're very tiny goggles, or they're stickers, I believe. You put over your eyes.
Yeah, I don't know. Tanning just seems like
fucking super cool.
If you're a
it's
lifeguard,
not good for you.
And that's the only time I feel like I've really tanned was sitting under an umbrella for 3 months and slow roasting.
That's the way to do it.
My hair turns blonde and I'm just lightly cooked. And I think that's the best way to do it. Whereas, just, I don't know, putting yourself in a microwave for a while doesn't really have the same appeal to me. But I've definitely done the gym and the laundry. Put the laundry in for 20 minutes. You go on the bike, you take the laundry out, put it in the dryer. Then you do exercising. Then you get it out and you leave.
Where
I'm at the Myrtle Wyckoff stop at the Planet Fitness across from the laundry place. And I have to go and run through 20-degree weather to get to the laundry place. I'm in my shorts.
Fair.
Those were the days.
Those were the days, guys. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You guys good? We're good.
See.
I've got 10,000 troubles, a million woes, got grief in my soul and nobody knows. I've got heart. I've got